Clint Eastwood, now 91 years old, continues his streak of solid films with a simple but effective neo-western called Macho. He plays an old man named Mike Milo, a washed-up horse breeder and a former rodeo star. He accepts a job from an ex-boss to travel across the border to rescue the man's young Latino son. The kid is being mistreated by his mother and Milo owes the man a favor, so he drives to Mexico and picks up the boy. And then the adventure begins when the two must pass through a series of obstacles on their way back to Texas. The film isn't a rehash of Gran Torino. It's about social responsibility and duty, so it's not a deconstruction of Eastwood's former self, and it's certainly not addressing toxic masculinity like some critics wrongly argued. When Milo says the macho stuff is overrated, he is talking about the men who act tough and do stupid things. Macho really feels fresh and charming, despite its familiar plot and themes. It's because we live in a time where we don't get a lot of movies that are endearing in this way. The way these characters grow is so natural and encouraging. It softens the heart of a curmudgeon. Stranded in a little town due to transportation issues, Milo and the boys stay at a ranch and begin to bond with one another. The kid's aggressive nature begins to heal because he's actually paired with Milo, who cares about him and takes a genuine interest in him. Milo also warms up when he meets a kind widow who makes him breakfast each day, teaches him how to cook, and introduces him to her sweet grandchildren. And there's so much nihilism in cinema, it's actually nice to enjoy a charming, well-intentioned small movie like this one. On the issue of politics, Eastwood doesn't confront the current political issues happening at the border right now, and that kind of makes it good and bad. It works because he's trying to tell a different story, a spiritual and mythical tale, but it also fails because I think the immigration crisis is too important to just ignore, and you don't really know if he approves of this form of illegal immigration, although it appears he might have attempted to appeal to emotion, suggesting it's okay to allow illegals to come over here so long as they mean well, or it's some kid who's coming from an abusive home. Again, nobody can say for sure because Eastwood chose to not state his position. That's really the only major mark against this film, and what helps make up for it is the time spent on religion though. It's almost a religious movie, and it's not hard to believe Milo and the kid are being watched over by God. In fact, when they are in need of some shelter, they find a shrine and a statue of Mother Mary and other biblical figures. Milo also becomes romantically involved with a good, God-fearing woman. So Eastwood doesn't exactly hit you over the head with his Catholic persuasion, but subtlety doesn't matter anyway. We get the message and it's a good one. By the conclusion of Macho, Eastwood wants us to think twice about our decisions. He wants the audience to make a choice. Choose a righteous family or live for yourself. A degenerate lifestyle filled with gambling, drinking, acting reckless. He's hoping you don't pick the latter because truthfully that stuff is overrated.